Oyarifa can easily be the proverbial land flowing with milk and honey. The landscape with the Bree Mountains overlooking it is breathtaking. The greenery here makes the weather far more desirable compared to other parts of the assembly. The Ayi Park, for example, can be said to be the best use of land here.
As much as possible, we ensured we used almost 2.5 acres just for park space, again, to encourage percolation of water so that we're not just running off water out of the development. And then, Ayi, as you see, has a lot of green space. Very little hardscaping, as much as possible.
However, not same can be said of this part of Oyarifa. Houses are built on roads in clear defiance of orders to stop work. I spoke to a resident at Call Baba in an attempt to protect her from powerful people engaged in lawlessness close to her.
It's just complete lawlessness.
It's just complete lawlessness in this area. There's no proper planning. The road system has been messed up primarily by individuals buying lands and developing in the road. We first petitioned the Assembly as an association in 2017 with so many issues, including no proper road system, no gutters, no street lights, and also buildings coming up on roads. We've been there not less than 5 times to try and speak with the MCE. Up to date, nobody has responded to our petition nor called us to a meeting, and we are still living in this jungle.
While building projects sprout on roads at the speed of light, the vegetation on the slope of the Ayi mountain is fast depleting for mega concrete projects. Experts warn this as a recipe for disaster.
It is an earthquake zone, yes. If there is an earthquake event, all those buildings are not safe. So for me, I think they should be discouraged. They can be moved elsewhere.
It's scary. I tell you, it's scary. People just go, every space that is available must be built. We don't care whether there's the need for a tree. Nobody cares about that. So I think now we are being irresponsible. It's not about what I used to think, that we were not being irresponsible, but it was out of necessity. Now we are being irresponsible. People are just being greedy.
Before the deepest fears of these experts become a reality, residents are already feeling the pinch. With the clearing of the vegetation up the mountains, rains are not as frequent as they used to be. However, at the least shower, roads and homes downstream flood, lasting up to 3 days. It's not hard to figure out why.
I think it's from the top there, where people have built on the places where the water has to flow. Then the church here. So anytime it rains heavily, the water it always gets stuck, and then everywhere gets caught. Even at times it crosses the road.
The effects, already bad roads, have become a nightmare.
We can say petrol pools
The worrying situation here caught my attention 4 months ago. The municipal assemblies responsible for the area, together with the Land Use and Spatial Planning Authority (LUSPA), tossed me around when I sought answers on whether or not the ridge on the mountain is a green belt requiring state protection. But even if these are private properties, the view of these experts suggests any attempt to replace the vegetation with brick and mortar will spell doom for the larger public.
And again, if you talk about disaster risk reduction in our environment, everyday issues of flood, everyday issues of heat waves, which we may not really be talking about much in Ghana, but in the next few years, heat waves will be a big concern. So greens help to minimize the impact of high temperatures within our spaces.
Aware of the dangers of the wanton distractions, concerned residents petitioned the assembly.
Some years ago, we used to have monkeys. I don't believe we have those now. And as much as we develop the areas around us for our residencies, I think that we should also think about preserving parts of this nature, if for nothing at all, for the future generation.
I followed up with the EPA. I was promised of some joint action together with the municipal assemblies in weeks.
Give us 4 weeks. We'll initiate the actions immediately. And
and from time to time we may even invite you to join us, because we are in it together, and I believe that our working together will help.
It's been months now. My checks show this hasn't happened yet. While the mandate of the municipal chief executives await renewal or not, the distraction here cannot wait. It gets more distractive by the day. Residents are troubled. Their serene area will soon turn into a slum of mansions.
It's
really a serious issue. If we don't take care, this is going to end up to be a Zongo community. No roads, and there will be increase in crime, and no one will be safe.
The impunity has reached unbearable levels for Grandma Florence, a pensioner who has lived much of her life in a country she says works, Canada. She is back home to enjoy the sunshine. Grandma Florence says she has written repeatedly to the assembly over the illegal siting of a building on a road that blocks her exit gate, but she is not happy. Nothing has changed.
How many gates should I get for 4 plots? I have only 1 gate now. I put the second gate, they block me. They lock me up. But I learned it's one of them from the assembly. The guy built on the road. It's one of them.
Erosion is inevitable here. Roads are hardly motorable. Ghana's outrageous rent regime, plus the unaffordable housing units, continue to push many to resort to all means, legal or not, to have their own homes. But the price to pay for this is huge, and government must be swift in dealing with the recklessness.